Hello everyone, my name is Hai. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Eva.Guru. Today I'm going to tell you more about how you can maximize your profits, revenue, and also manage Amazon in a simple way if you're a brand or a private label. Today there's like more than 1,000 brands using Eva, and you can be the next one. So first of all, we give you like a first dashboard, which is called the executive dashboard. And on this dashboard, you're able to we get 24 months of data. Based on that, you're able to see your year-on-year sales for every month, average sales, how many quantities you sold, total profits, expenses, refunds, cost of goods sold, sales, and reimbursements. So everything you need for every month to see how your business is progressing, you're able to see that on the sales and finance screen. Now, every single dashboard of Eva is super intuitive, where you're able to click to 1 month, and for that month, you can just see the total expenses, as well as what these expenses are, the refunds, shipping fees, inventory storage fees, Amazon selling fees, and everything. Also, back to the sales and finance dashboard, I'm able to just remove any of the KPIs, I can focus on the expenses or just the refunds or the COGS or the total sales. Moving forward, Eva is one of the unique platforms where for every single state, you can see what's your sales and how many quantities you sell. And also on the right-hand side, you have the top 5 states that can help you with, if you have your own store, D2C channel, or other e-commerce channels, at least it can give you an idea based on the Amazon data in which state you are selling the most. And you can kind of drive your advertising strategy based on that. Now, another thing which I'm going to explain you more later is Eva decides what would be the next best price for your private labels. Eva uses a strategy which is used by Amazon brands for the last maybe 5 years, and Amazon is making 30% better profits by using a dynamic pricing strategy. I'm going to tell you more about that. And even if you're a private label or a brand, don't think that buybacks is not for you because you are your private label. Yes, you need the buybacks, and you need to make sure that you own the buybacks 100%. Think about even a 5% difference, like a 95% buybacks ownership, which means you are losing money. I'm going to tell you more about that and what we do with dynamic pricing. Next dashboard is about the inventory storage fees, because if, in the beginning, it's all great. Amazon FBA, you can send as much as you want, as many units as you want, and Amazon will kind of store it for you without any cost. But by the time, the inventory storage fees will increase because, first of all, you are sending more, and some of your stuff will get aged on the Amazon FBA. So Amazon will start charging you more. So at least you need to know that there is the storage fees and it's increasing. So you're able to kind of, at least be aware of that too. The last thing on the executive dashboard is the inventory monitoring, which means that because you are sending your stuff to FBA, you need to know what is available, what is in transit between different warehouses of Amazon, what is inbound that you already sent, and what is unfulfillable. That's at the store level. Obviously, the more actionable information is at the SKU level, which we are going to go into details as well. So that's really the store level at the executive dashboard. Now, when I move to next step, it goes to the daily sales, it's the next operational dashboard on the daily sales, you're able to see what is your profits, daily profits on this store. And I can easily see just the profits. What is your daily revenue? And another great thing is on the Seller Central, you have data, which is yesterday's data, but on the EVA platform, it's real-time data. So whatever is sold real time, you're able to see that on the, on the daily sales dashboard. The other things seem like the number of orders every day, and like the last 30 days average sales, last 30 days average profits. You're able to see that also on the daily sales dashboard. Now you can also go into any single day, and for that single day, you're able to see what has been sold. And you see here for that day, how many units are sold, what is the average selling price. And as a brand now, you're telling me, well, my price is stable, and that's where we're going to change it with EVA. You need to go to the next step if you want to sell. If you are doing less than $1,000 a month, better you stay with your static pricing and you try to do it manually. But if you are really professional and you are serious about Amazon, you need to have dynamic pricing. There is a lot of benefits of doing that. Now, at the same time, you're able to see your refund rates at the SKU level. And not only that, for yesterday, I can also, if I want, like yesterday is the Monday, and I can compare the Monday data, for example, with last Monday, which means that I pick like 2 dates. And for these 2 dates, I can check like what's going on in terms of sales and the revenue, number of units, as well as the average daily price. That also helps a lot to understand how the business is moving from week on week for the same day. That's at least what I look at when I run my own private label business. Now, again, you can go and check the details of every single SKU, and let's kind of go into one of them. Here, the first thing that you see is the profit analytics, meaning that for this particular SKU, now, which is an FBA item, which is new, and for any single day, I can go and check what is the sales amount, what is the FBA fees. If I'm in Europe, value-added tax is important, the referral fees, cost of goods sold, product cost, shipping to FBA, additional costs. Now, a very important thing, EVA is one of the few, or maybe the only tool that really delivers the advertising cost accurately. And for this item, every single day, you can see the advertising cost incorporated into your overall cost, which gives you a great idea if you are really profitable, or you're just doing advertising and maybe you're increasing your revenues or improving your sales ranks, but at least you have the full picture, which you cannot see from Amazon. Now, for that advertising cost for any single day, you're able to see your profit, margin, and ROI. And if I go and check the, like what is available on the bottom of the dashboard, which is the average margin and total profits, sales, expenses, and average cost for the last 30 days, which is super helpful. Now, on top of that, there is a lot more. Number one is like, if I just go to the other tab, I'm able to see like for this SKU, for any given day, what is available, how many units are available, if there is any inbound units, if there is any back ordered units, which means like, it is in transit, and, how many orders happen and, how many units are sold, what is the sales amounts, what is the average selling price, as well as the last 90 days refund rates, the category, and all that stuff. So that really helps me to see what is the evolution of my orders versus availability at the SKU level. Now, what's going on the right-hand side? That's where the EVA artificial intelligence works. The artificial intelligence of EVA is looking at a number of parameters, like what is the trend on this particular SKU? What has happened last year? What is the seasonality impact on that SKU? What is the demand? And what is the inventory levels? Because, these are all kind of things that I need to explain, but there are like two major areas where the AI decides. Like, one is the inventory-based pricing, and the other one is more trend, demand, seasonality, category-based pricing. Everything about that is going into, like here, for example, on the really right-hand side, you see that the supply is like somewhere around 23 days. That's also very important because EVA is able to calculate based on the velocity, profits, and the trend, how many days of supply you have. And that's not just based on the past data, but it's a forecast of the next 30 days. What I mean to say here, and that's very important, and that's unique to EVA, is if you're in January 5th, if the system is looking at the data from December and thinks that there is another Christmas in the January 26th, 24th, that day, it will not work. So what I'm trying to say here is, like, the forecast should be based on the next 30 days and the next 60 days and the next 90 days, not just the past 30 days, 60 days information, because that's not really accurate. And that's what we do with EVA. So we'll look at the past data, we'll look at the seasonality, look at the last year's data, and based on that, calculate what needs to be the next 30, 60, 90 days data. Having said that, there are a lot of other factors all fed to the artificial intelligence engine, and the engine decides the next best price. And here is what is happening with that. The trend is great. As the trend is going up, the prices are also going up. Now, here is what happened like much before, like many days ago. There was only 9 days of supply available. And when EVA started working, because the system was designed at this point to have like if the inventory level is less than 21 days of supply, the system will start gradually increasing the prices by avoiding any type of buy box suppression, by avoiding or at least minimizing the impact on the BSR, trying to gradually increasing the prices. Why we are increasing the prices? Because we want to make sure that the velocity is going down slowly, not fast. And we want to make sure that we avoid or postpone the risk of out of stock. But at the same time, because we are increasing the prices, which means that we are maximizing the revenue and the profits for the given inventory. EVA customers in last year's Q4 made 35% more just by using the inventory-based pricing. That's super important. And the AI will at the same time look at the inventory level, but also still look at the seasonality, demand, trends, and everything, and now decides more in favor of increasing the prices because of the inventory levels. As soon as the inventory level is like, fulfilled, here you see that the level went up to 21 days, immediately the pricing went down, so that because the inventory is there, now it's time to sell more faster. And at the same time, still the system will start increasing the price. I hope it's clear, because that's a fascinating functionality. absolutely not available anywhere else. And this unique functionality of dynamic pricing will definitely give you over a long term 20 to 40% advantage on profit. And that is the key why people use dynamic pricing. Here is another dashboard, like another SKU where you'll see the impact of dynamic pricing as the system is moving forward, like the prices are increased because like you see that the days of supply is 16, 15, 12, and for some reason there is no way to replenish the SKUs or the products, and the price is gradually increasing. The level of profits by just doing this is enormous, and there is no reason to sell your stuff for a cheaper price, because at the same time, like you are losing, kind of like you are already like going to be out of stock. And if you try to do it manually, probably you're gonna fail, or you need to spend like hours of time. If you have like multiple SKUs, even with one SKU, it's tough. Where the system is really finding the next best price for you, it is a unique thing. Now, this is the way kind of like the system works, and you can easily ask me like how to configure that. And that's very important, because not only the system gives you a great flexibility on how your prices should change every day. By the way, it's very important. EVA is changing your prices once a day. Not only the system is like giving you that flexibility, but also for a given cost and ROI or margin expectation, the system will calculate what your prices should be. And that's where what happens with the calculated optimal minimum price, where you just enter your product cost like 4.16 and what is the minimum margin that you want to make from this product, or you want to kind of put an ROI expectation, which means like the ROI is kind of a percentage of the cost, where the margin is more a percentage of the revenue. And based on that, the system will calculate for you the FBA fees, storage fees, referral fees, variable closing fee, shipping to FBA cost, which will be automatically calculated, as well as the additional costs. And based on that, system will give you what should be your initial price. So you don't need to use like inaccurate FBA calculators or anything, because the system will always calculate it for you based on the up-to-date Amazon pricing. And you can do it in different ways. Like you can also kind of give, if my minimum price is, let's say, $19, and you can also calculate based on that type of a minimum price, what should be like your profit, margin, ROI. So this system is like doing it on both ways, starting from the minimum price or starting from the cost and ROI. And then you easily set the minimum price. Once you set the minimum price, EVA will also calculate a maximum price for you. Now, why the maximum price is important? Because EVA is compliant with the Amazon Fair Price Policy. There is no other tool which knows exactly where Amazon starts complaining about your price, and it will either end up like you to like maybe have a kind of a high price error. In that case, EVA will automatically reactivate your listing, so you don't need anyone, any virtual assistant or anything like to manage these type of situations where you have a high or low pricing errors. Or Amazon will suppress your buybacks. And even if that's the case, EVA will gradually reduce your price, ensure that you get the buybacks back. Why it is important for you as a private label? Because sometimes for logical or irrational reasons that Amazon may suppress your buybacks. A logical reason is because if you are selling that private label on your website for $10, but if you're trying to sell it on Amazon for 15, Amazon will find it out and suppress the buybacks, because once there is no buybacks, you're going to lose 30 to 50% of your sales. That's why the buybacks or the buy now button is super important. And that's also the reason why it is important that we are showing you how you are getting the buybacks. If you are winning the buybacks, that's great as a private label. If there is no buybacks, there is a problem. Now, Eva will sort it out, all types of pricing issues if you have no buybacks. But at the same time, Eva will also tell you that, Eva is not able to solve the issue because it's not a pricing issue. Perhaps your ratings, your reviews, something is very low, and that's another reason why you lost the buybacks, because Eva, the Amazon is not giving you to become a featured seller as well. Now that's the buybacks. At the same time, there's other pricing options where you can also define a max price. You can just fix the price, meaning that you don't want to use dynamic pricing for a certain amount of time. You can also schedule the price to gradually reduce, like that's another thing, very interesting, but you can gradually reduce your price if you want to liquidate an item that you don't want to sell anymore. And that's a big advantage because you don't want to pay storage fees. But at the same time, you also don't want to liquidate the item right away, because you still can sell it and make some profits. But what you can do is you can set the scheduled pricing, meaning that the price will gradually go down. And by doing that, you're going to maximize your profits again while you are liquidating that item that probably you have a new version. Now you're going to get rid of the old versions. So, that's another thing, right? That can be very useful for you. And once you set up everything, you can also enable the pricing right away by the button here, which says pricing enabled. Obviously, if you have more than 10 SKUs, you don't want to use all this management tool, but instead you can also kind of download a template, which is an Excel file, or to be precise, it's a CSV file. And on that file, you can easily add your cost, ROI, enable the pricing, and upload the file. Once you upload the template, everything will start working right away. And Eva will start, pricing your items every day. You can also, everything you see here, which is the Amazon data, because Amazon and Eva is always in sync. And you can easily export that data based on the filters here, like, for example, fulfillment type, the inventory status, pricing enabled or disabled, as well as buyback status. Like, for example, if I just pick no buybacks, but in this particular store, there is no case where there is no buybacks because Eva is managing it, and there is no problems other than maybe pricing. So Eva is handling them automatically. Now, from the same Eva dashboards, you're able to see also your ad performance. Eva is also an Amazon partner on advertising. We provide you all the dashboards where you're able to see your ad spend, sales, profits, ACOS, clicks, conversion rates, CTR, pretty much everything you need. Then another great thing, only available on Eva. We believe that you can make a lot of money if you have a way to see your reimbursements transparently. One of the reasons why we are very obsessed with reimbursements, because there are a lot of tiny reimbursement companies manually trying to do reimbursements, and you are blind. You have no idea what's going on because it's not a transparent process. Probably they are kind of using some virtual assistants, which are not even their employees, and they are doing some really cumbersome work, somewhere which you don't even know how they kind of access to your data and what they do. So that's why we want to make this reimbursement super efficient and cost effective. We basically, first time you connect your store, you're going to see what is the potential financial recovery in terms of inventory as well as in terms of revenue. And then also for the last 18 months, what has happened with your reimbursements. And then for the, again, for every single given month, what is the potential reimbursements from which particular area you got it. And that also gives us a great idea about your potential as well. Typically, we are able to get 50% more than any tiny reimbursement only company that is less than 5 people and trying to get your money by spending a lot of money on marketing. Instead of that, you can use EVA, and EVA is transparently showing you what has been approved or pending, and that's all the cases that are opened by EVA and their total reimbursement amounts, and everything you see here will be reflected back to your account, as well as that will be invoiced to you. The way it works in the EVA world, you are normally getting charged 20% success commission. But what we try to do is with a $50 subscription, you get $500 of free reimbursements, which means that the service charge for reimbursements for you will be just 10%. 10%, which means if we are successful, we get you $1,000, you're gonna pay us $100 for the first $500. And after that, it will be 20%. But for most of the users, even that $500 of free reimbursements will be more than enough. And you're gonna get all of it, not just a piece of it. And you're gonna be seeing that transparently. It's all transparent. Our artificial intelligent algorithm detects all reimbursements. After that, our an Amazon experts that are our own employees, that's very important, with a secure connection, they're gonna be doing the reimbursements completely Amazon compliant because we are an Amazon partner. None of these reimbursement only companies are Amazon partners when it comes to being a solution provider, or we have great relationship with Amazon in Seattle because we need to maintain that relationship. It's very important for us, but we take care of your stuff. We make sure that, we recover your stuff, and Amazon is super happy that we are doing that for them too. Now, the last, but one of the beautiful parts of EVA is the replenishment forecasting. Now that makes your life super easy and also gives you an idea, gives you a great idea. What is your in-stock cost value? What is inbound cost value? What is the full replenishment amount? And then for any period of time, for example, I'm gonna replenish 90 days of stock, and you can easily simulate, which just the system shows you that for $95,000, you're able to get all your stuff replenished. And the pink is giving you the replenished number of units and what is in transit, what is available. And, you're able to see everything here. And also for every single SKU, what is the average margin, sales price, velocity, days of supply, as well as what is the replenishment cost. Now, once you have that, you can easily export the data, send it to your supplier or prep center, and they will be kind of, doing the replenishment for you. The other thing is, what if you need money? How much money you need? Let's say you are going to get $50,000 from like you're going to get that 50K loan, you can also simulate based on the $50,000 what will be the best way to replenish your stock, not only based on like what needs to be replenished, but based on the prioritization of the most profitable items. The reason why we know the profits, because we are doing pricing for you. There is no other system which does not, the profit analysis, but also the pricing for you at the same time. Combination of that, we are able to do replenishment, and that will be the most accurate replenishment in the Amazon world, replenishment forecast in the Amazon world. So that's where I think you will love it. At the same time, for any single SKU, you're able to see that there is an alert because the inventory is less than 21 days and how many units needs to be replenished in order to get a 90 days of inventory, and also your velocity. That's available here as well as on the pricing management, and that gives you a great visibility of what needs to be replenished right away individually. Now, not only that, what if like you want to look at your top ASINs and their performance? Here is like the top ASIN. You can easily see what is FBA and FBM, and I can just go click and go into my top ASIN and see the profits there, as well as like the status for the inventory and the pricing decisions. I can also go and check the ASIN segmentation, where I see the top selling items, medium selling items, low selling ASINs, and the others. I can also check the year-on-year sales, because EVA is, again, one of the unique tools like that just gets 24 months of data from Amazon. And then you're able to see, wow, the things are compared between this year and next year, this year and last year, sorry for that. Now, we always give free reimbursement credits, by the way, to, anybody joining, EVA, because, although with our $500 free reimbursement package based on a $50 commission, we are able to get you to a 10% service fee. But if you are really doing well on Amazon, we're gonna make this reimbursement free for you, and that's where you see some free reimbursement credits. What if you need a loan? You can easily click to this Get Qualified Now button. And if you need a loan, immediately you're gonna see how much, who are the ones that they want to give you a loan, and you can get a loan in the next 48 hours. And that's also very unique to EVA. That is the only company which also provides that as a functionality to you, loan as a service. And that's how it works with, the Get Qualified Now button. So I hope that you enjoyed the whole demo of, EVA for the private labels. One of the things maybe, going back to pricing management, because that's where the EVA is the strongest. I just want to reiterate, like, what EVA can do is demand-based pricing, trend-based pricing, seasonality-based pricing. You can have an inventory-based pricing where it will avoid the stock out. You can also have, like, if a hijacker comes into your listing, EVA will immediately become very aggressive and get rid of the hijacker. And we recommend you, as a private label, don't let anyone to be on your listing. And you cannot avoid that. You cannot just send letters and think that, somebody will receive the letter and then they will be afraid of it. You can do that, but it will take like a month or two, and maybe the second letter, maybe it's the fifth letter, they're gonna react. Instead of like paying to these other companies that are sending letters on behalf of you, EVA will immediately be very aggressive and get rid of these guys that are hijackers. If they are not able to sell your stuff for the next 24 to 48 hours, the best, and it's a best practice, what we observed is they're gonna get out of your listing. Another important thing is the similar ASIN pricing. The similar ASIN pricing means, what if like there is another private label which is similar, or maybe the exact copy of your product, but it's a different private label. Maybe it's from the same factory. So the thing is, then you need to know about that, and you need to make sure that your pricing is competitive, because otherwise your advertising work will be very ineffective. Because if there is a similar product which is 30% cheaper, you're not going to make it with advertising, because every user will they're going to see that, there's another product or products, and they are like cheaper than yours. So the similar ASIN pricing will give you the ability to monitor the competitive prices, or you're able to at least see, you can also kind of do your pricing based on the competitors. Like, for example, you can say, I want to be 5% cheaper than this specific ASIN. That's also possible with EVA. So thank you very much for the time. I hope you enjoyed the demo, and looking forward to see you on EVA. And if you come and start your free trial for 15 days, I also want to offer you a code, which is refer20. And if you can use that, definitely you'll get a 20% discount on your first month. And EVA is very cost effective, so don't worry about that. We always claim we're gonna bring you 10x more revenue, than you are using, like you're spending on EVA. It's always like great to have you as our customer. So looking forward. Thank you.